What's up, everybody? Call me crazy, but I bought some SHIB, and I'm going to go over my thought process of why I did so, the timing of where I bought it at, what I saw on the charts, and also just a couple of thoughts. We're going to look over the white paper, and that's about it. I'm crazy. So typically this channel you see a lot of beaten down stocks. I typically like to look for those growth stocks that have been beaten down. Lately, it's just where the market's at. Those small caps have been beaten down. And, this is pretty much the opposite thing I'm doing here with SHIB. I did kind of buy it at a dip, I guess you could say, depending on the time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at a short time frame, I guess I bought the dip. But if you're looking at it from a couple months out, yeah, I'm up here at the tippy top. But I figured it's got some potential room to run, and I didn't put anything more than what I'm willing to potentially lose. And I do like to have fun from time to time, and this for me is kind of I guess you could call it a bit of a gamble play. But at the same time, I did do a bit of research, and I looked for a good entry point on the charts. So let's get into this without further ado, and I'm going to give you my reasoning here. So basically, guys, getting into it here, I saw Doge running up here, went up about 30%. I decided I'd take a little bit out of that. So I did get in this on Coinbase a while ago, ran it up, took my original investment out, and then let the rest ride. So there's that. But as for what I bought on my webull, I saw it consolidating, saw it going under that 60. And right when there was confirmation of a bounce, so right when that green candle started coming through, that's when I bought. Right when you saw it hit this and bounce, I put an order in, bought some. It was on the 28th here. I bought a little bit, got some out of Doge. When that ran up, I figured, why the hell not? I don't see Doge running up anymore. It seems the whole SNL thing, the buy the rumor, sell the news, I don't see that happening again with Doge, to be honest. And the fact that Doge is going to keep adding to the supply is a turnoff for me. Yes, SHIB has a huge, huge, huge circulation, but when you consider that it's burning coins, while so far, if you don't count Vitalik Buterin taking that supply, then donating 10% to charity, putting the rest in a dead wallet, besides that, yes, we haven't burned all that much coin, and I'm going to get into that in a second and why we will be burning more and more as we move forwards. But I saw it as an easy swing, and this was Thursday when I did this, and I figured another reason my thought process was telling me to buy on Thursday, and when I saw this nice little dip here, it was either here or here, I'll be honest, but it was around here. So it was right around that 60,000. When I saw it doing that 60, when I saw it hitting that 60, I figured why the hell not? And also the fact that it was Thursday, and think about this, guys, this is a retail investor play. I mean, for the most part, yes, we've got some whales that have ran it up, and that's for sure. But at the same time, this is a retail investor play. And when do retail investors get their money? Friday. So I figured, okay, getting into Friday, we're going to have a nice little run. And sure enough, we did a run a little bit, not as much as I expected. But that's all right, because I did trim a little bit off the top here on that run up. I still have that investment from Coinbase when we ran up here, took some profits, took my original investment out, let the rest ride, and I'm just going to leave that alone, let it do its thing. But as for the webull, I did trim some profit off the top, like 10%. I didn't take my original investment out because it wasn't worth doing that. So I just trimmed a little bit off the top, and I'm going to be looking for a retracement down to the low 60s if we can hit that. It seems we like to jump off that 100-day. So I'll be looking for that. That could be a potential good entry point. Lately, it's been jumping off the 50-day, but I'm going to be a little more patient than that because I already have my position, and I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing. I'm not going to get FOMO, although I guess you could say I kind of got FOMO by buying in when I did here after this run-up. But hey, at least it wasn't at the tippy top here. Now we get to that overbought territory for a short amount of time, and then we'll bounce off. So definitely keep an eye on the RSI on this one. But you will see that it likes to jump down at that 100-day. Even a few times it did hit the 200-day. Okay, but I figured the 100-day was a relatively safe entry. I got in at either this point or this point. I can't really remember, but I do know that I saw it starting to retrace, so I figured, okay, jump in. And like I said, we were getting into Friday. Retail investors get their money typically on Fridays, and I figured that could be a potential added small catalyst to it. But let's get into a couple other things besides the chart here. Now you'll see here, 84 million coins, that's not a lot. Okay, but that's just so far. You can go ahead and go on here. You can play some music. It'll burn coins while you play. But they did say that the burning will continue each month until SHIB reaches 0.01. So until it reaches 1 penny. And of course this can change, but it's one thing to consider. It's just an additional thing. Burning coin. Yes, this is basically nothing. It's more of a publicity stunt for them to get people to watch their content, listen to their content, what have you. But I'll leave a link below if you guys want to check it out. I'll also leave a link to the white paper. You can go on here, you can look through it all yourself. I'm not gonna go through every little detail, but you'll notice it is on the Ethereum network on ERC20, and you can actually go on Shiba swap itself. And now they have 3 type of tokens. They have Shiba, of course. They've got the leash, which this was connected to Dogecoin, and I'll get into that here. Now, as for leash, this was originally going to be a rebase token tied to Dogecoin, but later they decided to turn off the function and burn the keys so that they won't turn it back on. And then they continued it as another ERC20 token, just like SHIB. The interesting thing with leash here, though, is that they only have 107,000 minted tokens. Okay, so this is like a whole nother approach than SHIB. This has a very small amount, whereas SHIB has an insane amount. So you can go through the white paper yourself. I'm just going to mention a couple of things here. The community started first, and then the evolution came afterwards, which is kind of interesting. But I do like that SHIB uses the ETH network instead of using Bitcoin Litecoin like Doge does. So that's one thing to consider. I'm really not bullish on Doge. The Doge was really just, it to me was definitely a buy the rumor, sell the news, look for those catalysts, get in, get out, take your profit, and be done with it. Just the fact that it's not deflationary. While yes, okay, SHIB, it has a huge supply. This is true, but still it is deflationary. And when you're looking to put your money somewhere, when you see more and more inflation and you're looking to put your money somewhere, where are you more likely to put it? If you were to choose Doge and SHIB, right now I would say definitely you'd go with SHIB because there is that burn rate. A whole nother thing you have to consider. So most of this is from Vitalik Buterin. This is out of the 1 quadrillion supply. I'll leave a link to this too because they seem to be always updating this here. It's quite interesting to look at. Now, they say here that the previous count, this count here, was based on only 2 dead wallets, but due to Shiboshi's NFT name change, so if you want to change the name of the NFTs, you basically have to pay SHIB for it and burn, yeah, it burns SHIB essentially. And you can actually see the last transactions to dead wallets here when they change the tokens. You can see 3 million here, 3 million here, 3 million. So the typical number every time there's a name change, it looks like, is 3,704,000. And I mean, this is in the last 24 hours. You can keep going along. And these Shiboshi NFT things, they sold like hotcakes. So something to consider, you know, if they're going to drop more of these, this is just going to be more, and more burn. While yes, this is a very small number, I do think over time this will keep growing, and we of course have that catalyst of Robinhood potentially adding SHIB, although it does really depend on when they add it. You know, if they take a little too long, this hype and momentum could die down. It seems like the hype is kind of waning, and you know, a lot of the paper hands, a lot of the people that get nervous really quickly, a lot of the people that have no conviction, that were just in it to get in and get out, a lot of those people are leaving. But there's also more people holding. Here's something from a day ago. Number of SHIB holders surpass 800,000, adding 30,000 in a day. So the number of addresses is 816,000. And as you can see here, the total addresses just keeps blowing up. We will see how it goes here. And if you look at the total number of addresses for Dogecoin, it's looking at 4,400,000. So this is still Dogecoin is still way above SHIB in terms of total addresses. SHIB did flip Dogecoin. I think they're gonna just kind of continue to be neck and neck for a little while, but I don't really see Dogecoin beating it back. In the long term, I think SHIB is probably gonna stay up there while Doge will probably slowly fade into the distance. Now that's just my thought. But remember, this is definitely a speculative play. Don't throw everything into it. Don't throw any money you're not willing to lose. Have some fun with this one, you know, throw 20 bucks here and there. Look for those dips and add a little bit of cash. I feel like people are going to stay on this one for a little while at least. So those Shiboshi NFTs are at a floor of 1.2 Ether, so $5,000 currently. Now it's funny because this came out October 28. If this momentum continues, it won't be long until the unthinkable happens and Shiba Inu flips Dogecoin. That's kind of funny. Shiba is currently sitting here at a $40 billion market cap. Dogecoin sitting at 38. This is just crazy. Past Uniswap, Chainlink, Polygon. I mean, geez, Binance. This is crazy, guys. And the interesting thing is these NFTs are actually going to be part of they're actually going to be part of an upcoming game release. So I don't know how this all will be. It might be some kind of metaverse type deal they're going to work on, but it's quite interesting to see this. So there could potentially be a demand, you know, you get a better player or whatever. I still think the NFT craze is kind of an anomaly to me, but I'm not going to complain. And you had to get into the Shiba Inu ecosystem by going on ShibaSwap and actually using the leash, their leash tokens. And then data here shows that the Shiboshis have traded 5,100 Ethereum, otherwise 20,500,000. So based on the tier 1 price, it was actually 0.1 ETH. They had a 1,100% increase from the initial tier 1 price of 0.1 ETH, and they started trading at that 1.2 Ethereum floor, the $5,000 floor. Now those are just a couple tidbits of info on SHIB. I'm sure a lot of other people have covered this one. I just thought I'd give you my take on it and just what I'm doing with it here. I'm not worried about holding it potentially for the long term, but I'm not going to be scared to take some profits either because of the speculative nature of this play. Thanks again, guys. Be careful out there. Don't go crazy. And one thing that will help you sleep at night if you're ever worried about, you know, stocks, crypto, what to do, always keep some cash on the side. I found, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I've found that as long as I can keep some cash on the side, whenever there's a huge pullback, throw 10% of your cash that's sitting on the side into it. You know, throw a couple percent here, a couple percent there. Now, I did want to say that I do have about a total of 15% or so in crypto of my total assets in terms of stocks and those kinds of things. So, and of that 20%, 15, 20% of crypto, I have, you know, my Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano taking up the largest positions, as do most. And then I've got SHIB, you know, a small amount of Doge, a couple other coins here and there. But that's basically how I'm playing it. You know, I'm not going to get over leveraged into this, you know, but I also won't be one of those people you hear about that was able to turn $100 into $1 million. But chances are that time has already passed. But hey, you know, it's a potential double up, triple up from here. Who knows where it'll go? Time will tell. But yeah, I don't think this one's over yet, guys. Thanks again, though, for watching, and I will see you on the next one.